Well, good morning, man cavers. How are you doing? Right, today we have this John Deere cutter deck. That's the 42-inch off of the John Deere I've been doing. Today we're going to strip the deck out. And I need to get these deck bearings changed. I don't even know what the bearings are like, but as a matter of course, I'm going to change them anyhow. But yeah, so let's get this deck stripped out and yeah, we'll go from there, see how we get on. I may forward through this bit, but it shouldn't take too long. He says, as long as everything come undone and don't turn. All you really need to strip these decks out is a 13mm socket, a 10mm socket, and what size is this? A 22mm socket, which is your spindle bolt, and a 15mm spanner, which will hold them. So let's have a look and see if these will all come out. That's one out, no problem, look. That's two out. I love a rattle gun. Can we get into this one? Nope, I need my extension on. Will she go in there with the extension, or has she got to hit that idler? Alright, we're going to take off this idler. So that idler is off. Let's get these bolts out. And now this cover should come off. Oh, look at all them boogers under there, look, boogers. Don't you love boogers? Oh yes. Right, put your bits where you know you're going to lose them. Excellent stuff. Right, get that belt out of the way. What holds that lot on under there? 10mm. Not going to undo that rod. Right, let's start seeing if these will undo. Wow, it's coming undone. You just got to remember where all these little bits go. Luckily, I got a pretty good memory when it comes to things like that. It's not so warm today, fellas. About 12 degrees. But hey, I can manage. Right, need to get the little spring off. If we can manage the little spring, here we go. Get the little spring off. And don't lose that little spring. Of course, it is important. So we've got that off. Hook that little spring in there. If you ever do this, that might be advisable if you take a photo of your deck before you go ahead and take this to bits. Right, but I'm taking this all off in one bit without disconnecting all, then I'll know which way it go back together. It'll pretty much only go one way. But we've got to strip this deck because that's going to be painted. So, alright. One other little job I noticed I've got to do on this. I noticed there's a bracket missing for the wheels. And we have a wheel here, as you can see, around here, look, there's a little wheel here, which goes on the ground. There's meant to be another wheel like that here. And if I lift this bracket up, you'll see there's a hole I can get my fingers through. The bracket has broken off where there should be another wheel. So I've ordered another wheel from John Deere. Oops, it's Daisy. Let's get this camera centered again. I've messed it up. Yeah, I've ordered another wheel from John Deere. And I've found a piece of flat stock. That's 1/4 inch, I think. And that fits in here just right. So there you go, that fits in there just right. So I can put that in there where I like, weld it in, and just drill the appropriate hole for the little wheel to go in. And that'll basically be it. But that's later on. For today we're going to get these, get these spindles out. And hopefully I can show you changing the spindle bearings as well. So, shall we take the cover off? We might as well take it all off. There we go. Oh, there's a metal deflector inside there as well. Okay. So we're taking this to pieces. I think I'm going to leave that little bracket on there. Now we've got to take off the spindle bolts. Hang on, I'll tell you what else we need to do. If I can find that little socket again. There it is. I'm going to just pop these arms off. Come on. Come on. There we go. Whatever's going on with the windy gun? So I put this one over this side. I think my windy gun got a bit jammed. And remember, the nuts go to the inside, you can't really get them wrong. There you go, that's the arms off. These things won't bloody come out. I think if you unthreaded them all they might, but they're not really in our way. And if they get painted with them, deck, it ain't really the end of the world. So let's get these pulleys off now. This is where your 22mm comes in. Now they were tight, as to be expected. And that one was not so tight at all. So there we have. These should just lift off. Yeah, he says they should. Oh, that one is. He says they should lift off. Yeah, right. This one, that's interesting. We've got a. Let me get the camera here. This one's jammed up. Let me show you. Excuse my hand. As you can see on this spindle here, we have a star. And that goes on, fits on the star, look. Right, and then they just lift off. You look at this one. Someone's jammed something on the blade and that's got wedged on the star, look. See, it's like trying to turn itself and got jammed onto the star. So obviously at some point the blade underneath has got hooked up. I mean, that's free now, but yeah, it's free now underneath. But it's got jammed up, which has caused it to give us problems. So we've got to battle with this and see if we can get that off. Which shouldn't really be a problem. Let's have a look. First of all, we're just going to try a good old bar. There you go. Has that bucket that pulley? No, ignore the shaft. Oh, all them boogers under there, look. Boogers. Either way, that can all be reused. It's not a problem. Are these pulleys handed? No, they're the same. So they'll go back any order, it don't matter. Right. So that's our pulleys back. So what else do we need off to strip this deck as far as we want to go? Right, now I need a blow gun so I can just blow the deck off. Right. Cutter deck blown off. It's all good because you can always check for rust holes when you've got them stripped out to this. Right, next thing we're going to turn this deck upside down and pop the blades off. These are an oblong shaped hole going into an oblong shaped hole, so you have to put them in and twist them. So I think you have to take these right out and then twist these around and they'll come out, but to be honest with you, I'm not going to worry too much. Yep, let's get this upended and get the blades off. Oh my God, I haven't really looked under this deck much. Come on. There we go. Yeah, these deck bearings, oh God, you know, I don't like the sound of them deck bearings. So they are definitely going to be changed. And we've got someone's wedding dress wrapped around here. That looked like a wedding dress or something. So, let's get our socket. There we go, that one will do it. Let's rattle these blades out. And then we'll get in the other workshop and I'll show you how to change the deck bearings. Right. Cool, look at the rust on there. You can tell this mower deck is sat unused for a long time, can't you? But these blades, they'll sharpen up nice. There's no wear on the corners. They've still got sharp corners, so pleased with them blades. Very good indeed. Happy with them. There we go. Right, let's get this wedding dress untangled from around here. Oh my God, that's got jammed right up into the... Oh, crikey. That's got jammed right into the bearing, so that might have to come apart with the shaft. Right, next thing, we want to get these 4 bolts out to get the spindle out. So, what we need are the flatheads. No, they're traditional sockets. It's that. So we've got our 13mm spanner. Get on that socket. Get our spanner on. On some John Deeres, these are domed nuts at the bottom with a locking shaft, but these aren't, so we've got to hold these with a spanner. That's one out. So these normally come out pretty easy. Let me buzz all them out and then we'll be back. Right, we've got them spindle bolts out, guys. So these spindles, with the 4 bolts removed, should just lift out. So, yep, there they are. So take these spindles out, just check them, they're not handed, so they can go back in either way. Yep. So now what I'm going to do is, yeah, look at the state of this. We're going to get one of these next door and see if we can get these bearings out. Quite a unique bearing design actually, so I'm assuming I've never done one of them before. That's quite different. Normally there's a nut on there and they come out, so we'll have to see how they come out. Yep, I think I've got it set. Right, leave it with me and we'll be back in a moment. Right, we're back round the hydraulic press. Here's our hub and we've got to get it out. Now I'll use a hydraulic press. You can weld them out with a hammer if you really want to. So put him in the press and give him a little crank. Let's do him up. So this is a little Chinese press I got off eBay, but it's surprisingly good little tool. That should just, there you go, that's pushing out, look. Look at that. Then we can get it round by the vise and get that out the rest of the way. And then I'll show you how to. Will that pull out? It does pull out and the bearing fall out, look. Look at that. Where's that old bearing? Look, I went down here, look. No, that ain't a bearing, that's the hub off the top, look. Right. Oh, there's our bearing. As you can see. Yeah, I don't think she was going to do a lot of grass cutting with them bearings in there. So we've got to now whelp out these bearings. And, well, see how we go. This could be interesting, guys. This could take a bit of getting out. There's the reminders of a circlip there, which has rotted away. Look at that circlip. Totally rotted. Right, let's get round with the vise and we'll see if we can get these bearings out of here. Right, here we go. We're at our vise. We'll put our... Look at the state of that bearing. I don't believe that. Right. What you got to do is, you can't just get the hydraulic press and push the whole lot through. Because these bearings only go down that far or a shoulder. And they won't go no further. So you've got to manually push one bearing out through the other bearing, if you know what I mean. So we've basically got to get a piece of steel or a punch, go through to hook on that bottom bearing, punch that out. And then, if we want to get that one out, we can either do it the same way or push it out with a press. This is where it can get tricky. Now you'll think, you can't get in there because there's a sleeve between the two bearings, a spacer. So you've got to put your rod halfway down, push that spacer out the way a bit. Try and get your, yeah, push that spacer out the way, then we can hook on that bottom bearing. We're on that bottom bearing, a little tap each side, and there we go. Our spacer is out and our bearing's out. So that's our bearing out. Sometimes they can be tight, other times they aren't too bad. Turn it over, and that's good that the outer race has come out with that one. So turn it over. And I don't think I'm going to mess around with the press, because if this one come out as easy as that one. Cool. Cool. Alright. Yeah, I had a feeling that one would be a swine. Is there a circlip or anything in there? I can't see a circlip in there. I can't see anything in there. Let me get a screwdriver. Right, we're going to give it a bit of duck oil to start with so I can have a look at what's going on. If not, we're going to have to get a bit of heat on there. Is there a circlip in there? I thought that circlip was the one that had rotted out. I can't see a circlip this side. I can't feel one. Right, what I've got to do is, I'm going to heat that a little. Now I know it's not ideal to heat aluminium, but I'm not going to get it so hot that's going to do damage. So let's just apply a bit of heat in there. So we're not going to get so hot we're going to damage the alloy housing, so so now let's turn him over. And get our hammer and bit of steel. Oh, there's bits of bearing smashing out now. Sure. Yeah, this is the trials and tribulations of deck bearings you can come up against. They can be a nightmare. What actually happened there? Right, the inner race come out, but the outer race hasn't. So we've got to get this outer race out of there. I can't see anything. I can't see any clip holding that in, so I'm guessing it's just perseverance. So let's just keep hammering. Is that starting to come out? Come on. Let's say these are. There we go. There you go, we're out. Right, next thing to do, clean up in there nicely, and then I'll show you how to put the new bearings in. Right, we have the spindle cleaned out. Here's our new bearings. I bought non-genuine, but I got a good maker bearing. That's a 6203. 6203 is the size bearing you want. It's cheaper to buy them by size than it is buy them for the machine. If you buy them specifically for John Deere, they're about twice the price. But if you buy them by size, same bearing, half the price. Now, one very important thing, when you're doing these, always leave one hub assembled. Before, don't take them both together, you know, both the bits together, because you'll forget how they go back together. Keep one together as reference, always, so you know which orientation the shaft go back in and everything. So from this I know that the star drive go on the shallow side of the hub. So here's our star drive, goes on the shallow side. So that basically sits there. But we've got to get our bearings in. Now, because I've heated this, these bearings actually hold in there. Sometimes you need to put these in with a hydraulic press. These are actually tapping in there. It's so easy with a hammer. Right, the next important thing. So we have star drive. Will that go through? Yep. Remember, I never took that off. So hold that in your vise without nibbling your threads. Never forget to put your spacer in. Never forget the spacer. If you don't put the spacer in, which is so easy to leave the spacer out, when you tighten the nut up, all you're going to do is cross the bearings. So vitally important, spacer in. Top bearing in. Give him a tap. All the way around. These bearings are actually going in there. Surprisingly easy. Quite often you have to use a hydraulic press for them. I hope you guys are enjoying this series of videos, by the way. Look at that, it's gone right home. Press on the outer race of the bearing, never press on the actual main race. Right. So looking at our other shaft, what have we got now? This piece. Which should hammer on there to hold your bearings on. There you go. And there you have it, guys. New deck bearings fitted to a John Deere. So I shan't bore you to death with me doing this one. You've seen exactly how I've done this. To be honest with you, I didn't need the hydraulic press. This shaft would have easily pushed out just by tapping it with the hammer. I got really lucky with this. That bottom bearing was a bit of a pain in the bum, but yeah, we got it done. So I'm going to stop waffling on here, so I'm sure you guys have had enough of my stupid voice and my silly videos. So yeah, there's one more thing I'm going to do before I actually put these bearings back in here. I want to treat the inside of this. I'm going to paint this out, and I'll show you the stuff I use to paint these decks out. It is, oops, get that, all-weather roof coating by Blackjack. Now what that is it's reinforced. It's like a bitumen paint, but it's reinforced with fiberglass. And by heck, that stuff is strong. Either that, or I can stone chip it out. Don't matter. You need a good coating on there. There's no point painting the outside and leaving the underside here unprotected. I might actually, thinking about it, I might use stone chip or even Schiltz. Yeah, because I haven't got any of that roof coating. But yeah, I'll get this cleaned out, and I'll clean the inside of this, and then at some point I'll come back and we can refit them spindles. Look at that, lovely. Right, I'm off. See you next time, guys. Bye-bye from the man cave. Bye-bye for now. Ha ha.